The Time Traveler's Dilemma: Saving or Sacrificing the Future. Dr. Elian Carter stood before the gleaming archway of the Chronogate, a portal shimmering with the promise of possibilities and the weight of potential disasters. The year was 2145, and the invention of time travel had finally become a reality. For Elian, this was not just a scientific breakthrough. It was a deeply personal journey fueled by an aching void that had haunted him since childhood. Elian's father, Thomas Carter, had died in a tragic car accident in 2075, leaving a young Elian to grow up in a world filled with unanswered questions and longing. Now, armed with the power to rewrite history, Elian's heart beat with a singular purpose: to save his father and reclaim the childhood he had lost. Stepping through the Chronogate, Elian was engulfed in a swirl of lights and sounds, emerging in the familiar yet distant past of 2075. The world seemed brighter, more vibrant, as if the very air was infused with a sense of possibility. It was a stark contrast to the future he had left behind, a future marred by personal loss and relentless scientific pursuit. Navigating the bustling streets of his childhood city, Elian's eyes searched for the man who had been the center of his universe. When he finally found his father, the sight was almost too much to bear. Thomas Carter stood at a street corner, smiling as he chatted with a colleague, unaware of the fate that awaited him.
Elian.
Thomas turned, his face lighting up with recognition.
What are you doing here, son? Shouldn't you be in school?
For a moment, Elian was a child again, basking in the warmth of his father's voice. But reality quickly set in. This was not a simple reunion. It was a mission fraught with consequences.
I needed to see you, Dad.
Elian said, his voice trembling.
I have something important to tell you.
Over the next few days, Elian struggled with the enormity of his task. He knew exactly when and where the accident would happen. He had the power to prevent it, to rewrite the narrative of his life. But as he spent more time with his father, Elian began to see the broader picture. The implications of his actions started to unfold in his mind, creating a web of potential paradoxes. In the quiet of a moonlit night, Elian found himself standing by his father's side, watching the stars.
Dad, have you ever wondered about the impact of our actions? How one decision can change everything?
Thomas looked at his son, sensing the depth of his words.
Every choice we make has consequences, Elian. That's why it's important to live with integrity and purpose.
Elian's heart ached. He had come to realize that saving his father would erase the very catalyst for his own future achievements. Without the pain of his father's death, he would never have been driven to invent time travel. The very fabric of the timeline would unravel, creating a paradox that could have catastrophic consequences. The day of the accident arrived. Elian stood at the crossroads, his heart torn between love and logic. As he watched the events unfold, he understood that some sacrifices were necessary for the greater good. With tears streaming down his face, he let history take its course, knowing that his father's death was the price for the future he had built. Returning to 2145, Elian emerged from the Chronogate, a changed man. He had faced the ultimate test of his humanity and had chosen to uphold the delicate balance of time. The loss still hurt, but it was tempered by the knowledge that his sacrifice had preserved the world he had come to know. In the quiet of his lab, Elian looked at a photograph of his father, a bittersweet smile playing on his lips.
I love you, Dad. Thank you for everything.
He had saved the future, not by changing the past, but by understanding the profound implications of his choices.